We're on a mission to bring our sailboat Maverick back to the U.S. from Guatemala. So we sailed on our friend's catamaran from New Orleans, across the Gulf of Mexico, through Mexico and Belize, all the way to Guatemala, where she waited safely at Captain John's. After 28 days, many adventures, and some of the most magical places we've ever been, we finally made it to the Rio Dulce in beautiful Guatemala. We'll give ourselves a little time to rest and prep Maverick for her biggest sail in many years. The same trip we just made in reverse back to the U.S. We're on a time crunch though. We need to be out of the Caribbean before the start of hurricane season in June. Follow the journey to find out if we make it home and if we make it in time. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to follow our journey. Give us a like and say hi in the comments as well. We'd love to hear from you, and it really helps the channel grow. We've been drawn back to Guatemala ever since we first came here to look at purchasing Maverick a few years ago. That's why it's especially difficult to only have about 2 weeks here before it's time to begin the journey back to the U.S. We have just enough time to fix the broken things and load up on several weeks of provisions before starting the engine and setting off from the marina and the country that Maverick has called home for the last 18 years. There's a 100% chance that we'll be back in a few years. In the meantime, more adventures await. Now we're on our way to Belize, our first stop on this leg of the journey home. We're going back through Placencia, where we'll get to spend the time at our friends Chris and Shannon's dock at the home that they're building. A few weeks hanging out with friends and exploring Placencia sounds like a great plan to us. Okay, this is the municipal pier in Placencia, Belize. This is where we're able to leave our dinghy. We can bring our trash. It costs just a few bucks to dump trash, leave your dinghy for the day. And this is kind of our main way of getting into town. So over here, beautiful beach.
Really nice beach.
Beautiful, yeah. And this is the sidewalk.
Here, where we're going. All right, so we're about to walk on, which is the main street in Placencia. It's a sidewalk, and it kind of goes right through the middle here. And they've got a lot of little bars, a lot of little restaurants, dive shops, hotels, all kind of off from here. So this is kind of like the that is big titty rum, my friend. Point. So a lot of really neat little places kind of up through here. A lot of you're gonna see a lot of artists out.
The sidewalk gets busy during festival and peak tourist season. We find that this slower paced time of year, roughly March through May, to be a great time to visit. Though temps are warm, we experienced little rain, and as you can see, you aren't dealing with big crowds. If you prefer a more busy party vibe, come to Placencia during Lobster Fest in July. It's a huge celebration of the beginning of lobster season. Walking along Placencia's famous sidewalk feels like a relaxed stroll through paradise. The sidewalk is more of a laid-back, charming path that runs parallel to the beach, and it's one of the longest sidewalks in the world. You're greeted by the warm breeze off the Caribbean Sea as you take in the tranquil vibes of the small coastal village. On one side of the sidewalk, you'll see colorful wooden buildings, many with tropical motifs and pastel shades, like yellows, pinks, and blues. These buildings house local shops, restaurants, and guest houses. The sounds of locals chatting, music playing, and the gentle clink of ice and glasses can be heard as you pass by. On the other side of the sidewalk, you'll often be treated to stunning views of the clear turquoise water with soft white sand stretching out ahead. The beach is dotted with palm trees and the occasional boat gently rocking in the bay. The sidewalk isn't just a path, it's a glimpse into the laid-back culture of Placencia. You'll pass by beach bars with wooden decks serving up cold drinks, and the scent of fresh seafood being grilled drifts through the air. The vibe here is chill, and everything seems to slow down. You'll feel like you're in a serene slice of paradise, where time moves at a leisurely pace and the ocean view is always within arm's reach. It's a place where the natural beauty of the Caribbean and the warmth of the community create a perfect blend. There's nothing quite like a leisurely stroll down the narrowest main street in the world. Make sure you add it to your bucket list. Parallel to the sidewalk is Placencia Road, the main drive in town. Lined with colorful shops, banks, hardware stores, and restaurants, this is the main artery for commerce in Placencia. Hey, how are you? Good morning.
Good morning. This is getting groceries in Placencia, Belize. This grocery store will drive you on their golf cart down to the municipal dock, so you don't have to walk all the way in the heat. Pretty awesome. Especially because it's a really hot day today. Yeah, so it's like 100, well, 93 degrees today, feels like 100 and something, and yeah, so this is 108, this is the way to go today. So, groceries are in tow.
So that's a really good way to do it.
Yeah, it's a good trek down to that store, but hey, they'll give you a ride back, so
Yeah,
makes it a lot easier.
It's even easier than in Rio Dulce.
That's That's right.
Because you're having to take everything down. Although it's not too bad there in Latoria because you got the cart, bring the cart down, load the boat.
Right, right.
But that would be a good little trick, but it's not bad, you know, at all.
Hey guys, I'm really excited to talk to you about this new gadget that we've been testing out on Maverick. These are the Seymour night vision binoculars from Picasso. At first I was a little bit skeptical. I was wondering how good these could actually be at this price point. But to my amazement, they turned out to be really good. So I'm going to show you some real world test results and show you how we use them on Maverick. All right, we've been using the Picasso Seymour for about 6 months now, so I kind of want to show you a couple different ways that we use it. We are in a moonless night here. It's dark out, it's windy, you can kind of see. Probably can't hear anything I'm saying. We're in a very small anchorage, and there's a lot of boats around here. There's 5 boats around, and 2 of them have already dragged today. So I can't see anything at all, so I'm going to pull out the Picasso and kind of just take a look around. We've got rocks over to our side here. We're kind of on a short scope, so we're kind of in a precarious situation. But anyway, I'm going to show you what the deal is. So this is what you can see in the dark. You can see lights on the other side, and the boats, you can kind of see the lights of the boats. Can't see any of the rocks, can't see what's going on, can't see how far they're away. This really lights up, man. All right, so on a night like this here, I can't see anything. I can barely see their lights and stuff, but this here, when I'm looking through the night vision goggles, it kind of gives me a little bit of depth perception, so I can kind of see if the boats are moving, where they are in relationship to the land and stuff. And when it's really, really dark like this with the infrared mode, I like to turn that on like in, I think it's got 7 different levels of infrared, but I like to keep it on the first level. It kind of lights it up like a bright flashlight, and I can kind of see around everywhere. And I'm not really bothering people by taking out a flashlight and shining in their boat at night, because that can bother people too. It can change. I don't know what they're looking at. It could ruin their night vision. They could be out looking around as well. I'm sure they are on a night like this, since they've already probably dragged today. It gives me the availability to kind of get out, look around, not bother anybody else, and I can see everything that I can see just like in the daytime. So I really like this. And it's also the same thing with going into places at night. You've got about 3 different options if you're going in. On a sailboat, you try not to go in at night, but you're sailing, the wind changes, time changes, and you end up getting to a place later, you know, maybe an hour or 2 hours later than you want to. It gives you the availability, you know, you can anchor outside, you can heave to outside, or you can go in if you've got a decent enough, wide enough channel to go in. And this really helps out. The other good thing about this is it actually hooks up the Wi-Fi, so I can put it on either Amy's phone, so I can stand up forward and Amy can see what I'm seeing, and we can talk on our headsets back and forth, or I can actually stream it right to a TV set there. So it works really well. I like using it, and it's very helpful. The bottom line is, for the price, I think this is a piece of kit that you can use on your boat, and it'll help you stay safe. If you'd like to pick up a pair of these NVGs for yourself, check out the link in the description below. Big thanks to Picasso, and now let's get back to the video.
This morning, Shane's in the water, cleaning out some through holes. Trying to, anyway. This water isn't exactly clear. So here, this would be the head.
Bilge pump issues. All right, so our bilge pump problems have reoccurred again. So I've taken this apart again, redid other connections, but I took the pump apart, cleaned the pump. I think it may be a mechanical deal, but anyway, right now it's working, but I'm not leaving here without a spare pump. So anyway, as far as this goes, it's kind of working again. Just let me explain kind of maybe how this is hooked up, because probably people don't know. But I've got the bilge pump right here, which actually goes down in the bilge. And then the float and high water alarm is over here. The float generally burns out. So what we've done is we have connect the float to a relay. So now the relay turns on the power as opposed to the float, because generally it burns it out because there's too much electrical power for the float. So the relay handles all that for us, but it's a little busy here with wires and stuff. But once we get the bilge pump back in and the float back down and it's all attached, it'll look a little less hectic. But this is something that needs to be probably cleaned up when I get back and I get time.
So you think you fixed it?
It's fixed for now, yeah.
For now. And his beautiful wife. You're the first person from Baton Rouge I've met down here, actually. Yeah? There you go. Let's go. Let's go. Thanks so much for watching. Catch the next video when we discover a remote Belizean paradise. Help us destroy the YouTube algorithm and leave us a like and a comment. It really helps the channel grow. As always, we can't wait to meet you out there.